The human brain maps the physical body, translating raw sensory input into complex, continuous streams of data along the somatosensory cortex. In the modern Vipassana tradition, specifically the lineage popularized by Sayagyi U Bakin, meditation leverages this system. It is a sophisticated practice of interoceptive training, operating as an empirical neurological exercise. For decades, scholars have noted a historical tension here. The mechanics of this specific technique, systematically scanning the body for physical sensations, diverge significantly from orthodox Theravada commentarial tradition. The debate centers on the Anapanasati Sutta. Its third instructional step directs the practitioner to experience the whole body while breathing in and out, a step known in Pali as Sabakaya Patisamvedi. In the 5th century, the scholar Buddhaghosa interpreted this instruction metaphorically in the Visuddhimagga. He argued that the whole body referred to the body of the breath, directing meditators to observe only the beginning, middle, and end of respiration. By steering practice away from physical sensation, this influential commentary raises a question about the origins of the modern body scan and whether its emphasis on the physical frame has any ancient precedent. Researcher Venerable Analayo addressed this question by looking beyond the surviving Pali canon to ancient Chinese translations of Indian Buddhist manuscripts. A direct contrast to the Pali interpretation exists in the Dhyana Samadhi Sutra, translated into Chinese around 407 CE. Originating in northwestern India, it defines the third step of breathing as literal awareness of the physical frame, reaching from head to toes and every pore. The text employs a specific mechanical metaphor, instructing that awareness must pervade the body just like water entering sand. These records suggest that the U Bakin method represents a revival of an ancient Indian somatosensory taxonomy that predates the standard Pali commentaries. The modern descent of this technique began with a colonial-era monastic revival in Myanmar, led by the monk Ledi Sayadaw. Ledi Sayadaw was a master of the Abhidhamma, the technical and philosophical core of Buddhist psychology, and he produced vast manuals detailing its practical application. His work initiated a mechanical shift in meditation, moving practitioners away from deep, sensory-deprived absorption and toward a rigorous elemental analysis of the body. This analysis targeted kalapas, the subatomic structures described in Abhidhamma theory as the basic building blocks of physical matter. Ledi Sayadaw taught that the goal of meditation was the direct, empirical observation of these fleeting particles as they arise and pass away within the physical frame. Grounding mystical insight in the observation of elemental physics established the intellectual foundation for a purely sensation-based meditation. This lineage passed to his prominent lay disciple, Saya Phetschi. He was tasked with adapting these intensive monastic practices for householders and civil servants. To rapidly generate the necessary concentration, Saya Phetschi modified the initial practice of breath observation. Practitioners were instructed to focus strictly on the physical friction of the air of the nostrils, ignoring the breath's movement into the lungs. This pinpoint concentration was then applied to the body, allowing the meditator to observe raw sensations as a way to realize the reality of impermanence. By engineering this time-efficient protocol, Saya Phetschi transformed an elite monastic discipline into an accessible, high-impact tool for the laity. In the mid-20th century, Sayagyi U Bakin further optimized these techniques, tailoring them for a modern, international audience. He established the highly structured 10-day retreat framework, stripping away complex ritual to focus on a direct, empirical methodology. The core of his method is the systematic sweeping protocol. The rule of the sweep requires the attention to move methodically and linearly through the body, leaving no part unobserved. Meditators look for Vedana, the raw somatosensory feedback of temperature, pressure, or vibration, observing this data without narrative judgment or reaction. To maintain this empirical focus, U Bakin implemented a negative constraint. Meditators are prohibited from anatomical visualization. They must not picture bones, muscles, or organs. This operationalized Buddhist insight, treating the body as a laboratory for observing neurological and physical change. After U Bakin's death in 1971, the technique diverged into specialized branches led by his authorized students. S.N. Goenka became the primary global emissary of the lineage, working to secularize the technique for a mass audience. Goenka's mechanical emphasis was on passive, equanimous observation, training the mind to remain unaffected by sensations to eradicate deep-seated mental conditioning. This contrasted with the approach of Mother Sayama, who retained the esoteric and cosmological frameworks of U Ba Khin's original center. In her paradigm, the teacher's deep concentration creates a protective environment, or vijaydhatu, which is believed to catalyze the student's breakthroughs. This split reflects the tension between a modern neurocognitive tool and a traditional teacher-centered cosmology. Other Western disciples modified the mechanics further. Robert Hover departed from passive scanning to develop internal movement healing. Instead of sweeping the whole body, Hover's method involves isolating and interrogating a specific area of physical pain. By asking precise boundary questions, such as, does the pain have a center? The meditator cognitively deconstructs the sensation until its intensity shifts. John Coleman integrated the sweeping method with Zen non-dualism, while Ruth Denison introduced controversial modifications involving kinesthetic movement and dance. While some orthodox branches argued that movement disrupted internal energetic flows, these modifications demonstrated the versatility of the underlying attentional architecture. These variations show that the systematic observation of sensation is a flexible system, capable of being engineered into diverse clinical and therapeutic interventions. The lineage of Ledi Sayadaw functions as a continuously evolving taxonomy of attentional strategies. It has moved from scholastic elemental analysis into a standardized protocol for the laity, and finally into a range of targeted Western applications. Ancient concepts like Vedana and Kalapas find a modern parallel in our understanding of interoceptive processing and the somatosensory cortex. Manipulating the attentional field, whether through linear scanning or active boundary definition, directly alters how the brain processes physical data. Understanding the mechanical evolution of these divergent methodologies offers a specific set of protocols for cognitive deconstruction and sensory regulation.